What do you think is the most influential science force, like physical force law, that influences your life?
Probably gravity.
Probably gravity.
And I asked the question, what do you think is the most influential laws of nature in your life? And almost everyone except for one answered gravity. And so that just shows how much gravity actually influences our life and how gravity dictates how we live and how we do things around our life. Like, since the gravitational pull in the moon is 4 times weaker than the gravitational pull on the Earth, living in the moon will be a lot more different than living on Earth. Like, the NFL will look a lot more different on the moon than it would on the Earth. So, yeah, that's a little quick intro to my second also seminar about gravity. Anybody tell me where gravity comes from, or like the cause of gravity?
The Earth's core.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, that a lot of people say that. Another one. What? Okay.
Gravity is created by mass.
Right, okay, now we're getting closer. So not a lot of people know this, but 200 years ago, whenever people, we all know Isaac Newton is, right? It's the guy with the apple thing, and he's the one that discovered gravity, right? Yeah. And whenever he first discovered gravity, he came up with this revolutionary way of thinking. He's like, oh yeah, it's not just falling; it's an actual force that pulls things down, and I could write this into a whole math thing. And so overnight, he created a subject called calculus that we all love to this day. And he used calculus in order to calculate the orbit of all the planets around the solar system. And he did all this great thing, but he couldn't explain where gravity came from. He didn't know where gravity, what the cause of gravity was. And so what he did was, he did what we learned in Zach's class, the apologetics class, the God gap theory. So what he did was, since this is the point where human intellect ends, and this is where God comes in. So he thought nothing can explain, like human logic can't explain the cause of gravity. But what I want you guys to learn is that it doesn't answer if God exists or not exists. And so it's not, you can't really compare those two things together. And so I think it's a very good argument, but it wouldn't work. And I just wanted to tell you guys how interesting the argument was with the God gap theory. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of math right now. So this is potential energy and kinetic energy. Does anybody know what potential energy is? Right.
Potential energy is like the amount of energy that something could have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you raise something up, like a really heavy sandbag or something, like or a giant tire that weighs 300 pounds, that thing is going to have a stored potential energy that it will emit to other people. The measuring factor of this potential energy will be obviously gravity, because it's falling and it's accelerating because of gravity. And that's what it gives its potential energy. And this potential energy is going to be transferred to kinetic energy. Now, do you know what kinetic energy is? Anyone? Tyler. You're smart.
Like energy and movement.
Right. Yeah. So as that thing is falling down, the stored potential energy that it has is being transferred into kinetic energy as it's falling down. And so when it hits something, that force is going to be its kinetic energy. Now, I wanted to do a little math thing with you guys because I wanted to calculate the potential energy that this wheel had. And so it's really easy. It's the potential energy, you're going to try to get the weight times 9.8 meters per second squared, which is the acceleration of gravity. It's a constant. It's always 9.8 meters per second squared. And then you're going to times that by height. So it's how far it's off the ground. And so I crunched in the numbers. I had to use the metric system because that's what I was familiar with. It comes up to 5,694.66 joules. Now, if I told you guys that, you guys probably wouldn't know how much that really is. And so I looked up something pretty interesting. So if a karate punch of a normal person is said to be 150 joules. And so if you divide 5,694.66 by 150, you get about 37.4. And so you'll round it off to 38. And so that thing falling down on that one small little platform is getting punched by a karate punch 38 times at the same time, simultaneously, in the face. So I hope you guys kind of get the idea of how powerful this thing is. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. And I just want to say that this isn't very accurate because I didn't think about air resistance. I didn't really think about the bounce that the bottom tire has as when it's coming down, which is going to reduce the force that it will give to the actual plane. And I didn't think about, there's a lot of factors that come into whenever you're calculating in real life situations, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick, like, an overall view of what this actually, like, just give you guys an estimated amount of force that this thing has. But don't fool yourself, this is not actually accurate. This is very, very estimated. So yeah. I think now we can start smashing stuff.